I was recently working with one of my online kettlebell clients who had just recently learned the one-arm kettlebell swing. He was having a little bit of trouble, but after sharing some videos back and forth, we improved his form and became much more powerful and much safer, which inspired me to create this post for you today about some tips to have a nice, strong, and safe one-arm swing. Hey, I'm Ryan Jenkwitz. I'm a level 2 RKC. I'm the owner of RJ Kettlebell, and I'm on a mission to help men and women get in great shape using kettlebells. So I'm going to show you some common mistakes that I see in the one-arm swing. I'll show you how to correct them so that you're staying safe and you're producing a lot of power. Now, I come from a hardstyle kettlebell training background, so what I'm about to explain to you comes from my hardstyle training and teaching. So one common mistake that I see at the top of the swing is that people will let their shoulder get pulled forward, so it kind of rounds their upper back. What we want to do is something called packing the shoulder, where we pull the shoulder back into the body and down. We should be able to feel the lat here contracting. If you can feel your lat, it's going to keep the tension out of your neck. It's going to prevent you from rounding your back. Another common mistake that I see is that people will let the kettlebell rotate their upper body at the top. Because this is a one-arm exercise, we're asymmetrically loaded, so the kettlebell will want to pull us out of position. So we want to make sure that we're staying nice and square at the top of the swing and at the bottom. So to make sure that you're staying nice and square at the top, one thing you can do with your free hand is just tap the kettlebell. That'll keep your shoulders nice and square. Make sure you're not rotating at the top of your swing. And just like in the two-hand swing, another common problem that I see is people will have their timing of their hip hinge off. So what do I mean by that? So if the kettlebell is up here, they'll start to push their hips back really soon, which is going to put a lot of stress on the lower back. We want to wait for this arm to come down, get very close to the body, and then when it's almost touching the rib cage, that signals the hips to go back into the backswing, which will load the hips. Another thing to pay attention to in the hardstyle one-arm swing is we want to connect the forearm to the inner thigh, high up on the inner thigh in the backswing. If we have space between the arm and thigh, that may put a lot of pressure on the elbow and the shoulder, and it could cause a little bit of stress on the lower back. So make sure that you connect your forearm high up on your inner thigh, which will load the hips, and let your hips pull the kettlebell forward as you spring up. So I'm going to show you a couple of one-arm swings. See if you can pay attention to my shoulder staying packed. I'm going to tap my kettlebell so my shoulder stays square, and I'm going to let my arm come very close to my body before I hinge back, and then I'm going to connect to my inner thigh. All right, so you're having trouble with your one-arm swing, or maybe you experience a little bit of lower back pain. So work on those things that I just demonstrated, and I think it's going to make a big difference. If you have any more questions about kettlebell training, please send me a message. Stay strong.